Okay, greetings, brothers and sisters. So, this is the introduction to a playlist that is specifically about cleaning some scars that have to do with your dying process when one is dying and paving the way for a peaceful death. I woke up in the middle of the night last night. Today is Monday, November 25th. And sometimes I don't, I must stop breathing when I'm sleeping. It's infrequent now. It happened with COVID, and I wake up sort of a little bit rattled or panicked. And, I'm not breathing properly, and something had to wake me up, like pull me out of my sleep. And, I'm a little bit freaked out, and, that's not great. And that didn't happen last night, but that happens. But last night I woke up, and I was, meditating a little bit. And I had the thought of preparing myself for my eventual death. There's kind of weird things going on now, just in general. And, I've been feeling weird and off a little bit. I don't want to say off, but I've been having, I've been covering this in the Journey series, and I'll put this audio in the Journey series as well. But I've been doing this where I have that crying breathing where you're a kid and after you cry, you breathe, you have that weird breath that, whatever. And I'm not sad, but I have been feeling a little bit, like something's a little bit of a foreboding or whatever it is. But anyways, I've been thinking about that, the death process. And when I started to meditate on this, I felt like a wave of sort of panic. So I felt that there's fear around my inevitable death, like from past lives. You don't want to die scared. Like you might go through some fearful things if you have some terminal diagnosis and you realize you're going to die or whatever happens. I'm not going to have that because I probably won't go to a doctor. But when you know the end is coming, there's fear. There's a natural fear. Everyone should have a natural fear of death. Every mammal has got a built-in fear of death, which is a good thing. Because you should fight to stay alive, right? As long as you're supposed to be alive, that should be there. But when you're going to die, it shouldn't be there. When you're going to die. And also, there shouldn't be some past life thing where you were freaking out about your death. You're accepting it when it's going to come. And I've been through that. I gave this told this story before where things were going south with my family. We're in Sri Lanka. My divorce, the last time I would see my ex was about to happen. And the family was in crisis. My daughter was threatening suicide over us not allowing her on social media like Facebook and things. And, because we had just left India, she was having all these, it was a bad time, right? And, it was a bad time before that. We'd just gone through a visa crisis and things were going south. Sharji had recently passed away, and so this was the beginning of the dodgy era, which I didn't know how bad he sucked, right? So there's a lot of things there. And I had to go cash a check, and I needed to go to a bank, and it was raining, and there was these auto rickshaw, what they call tuk-tuks there in Sri Lanka, these three-wheel vehicles. And oftentimes these guys would take me on a hell ride. I think they thought I looked like Vin Diesel, which I don't. But they looked at me like I was, they watched those Fast and Furious movies or something. I don't know. But for whatever reason, they always thought I wanted to go faster than, which I didn't. And this guy didn't speak any English, and I kind of told him I was in a hurry. And we were, and these roads were like a mountainous, Sri Lanka's a mountain, like a, Hawaii in the sense of like a tropical island with a mountain, which is, unfortunately polluted waters, but, kind of nice water and things. And we were sliding all over the road, and I just was so stressed out about everything. I just put my hands on the seat, and I just relaxed. I couldn't tell the guy to slow down because he didn't understand me. And I was like, this might be it, right? I just, surrendered to the idea that this could be it, right? And I felt relaxed with it. I mean, I couldn't really leave my family in crisis or whatever, and it wasn't, But if it was going to happen, it was going to happen. I couldn't do anything about it. So I've had those kind of moments where just I was at peace with it. And that's the way you would want to die, like where you just accept it and it's happening and your soul's looking forward to moving on. And so, at the moment of death, and maybe there should be some fear there, I don't know, leading up to it, but you don't want fear being, there when you're the moment of your death. And so this playlist is about sittings, and there'll be one today on Monday, November 25th. And this is the introductory playlist to it that people can take these sittings and prepare themselves for their death. It's something that everyone should be aware of when they're meditating, because you want to be in that meditative state where you're feeling God's love and you feel connected, and you're transitioning from your physical body to the etheric world, and you want to have it be a moment of peace and love and things, and not a moment of struggle, a moment of panic, a moment of confusion, any of these things. Where you're allowing yourself to be released from this physical body, where the fear exists. Like with your soul, the fear doesn't exist. But you don't want to take the fear with you, because that's a bad thing, because that will just carry on to your next experience. And, again, a healthy fear of death, a natural fear of death should be there. It is there with animals. But sometimes you see animals when they have been caught, right? Like you'll see a fish that's been plucked out of the ocean by an osprey and it's being carried. It's still alive, right? And they just stop struggling. Like animals that realize sometimes they're fighting, sometimes they're trying to escape. But then you see like a moment where they just, they're still alive and they realize this is it. And there's just they surrender to it, and it's, a quick death by some predator or whatever. And, it becomes like they just surrender. It's like the fight is gone and it's their time, and they just are at peace with it. Which, of course, humans should be able to achieve that as well. That there could be fear and, cleaning going on leading up to your death, but then at the moment of death, there should be peace. And a sense of, a release and joy of being, released from this, the earthly bondage and going to a better place. And so, there'll be these sittings, and at least one today. There'll be one today, and then I don't know. When I think about it, I'll do some more. I don't know how many there'll be, but there'll be a playlist here for them. And then people can take them in order, and they'll be specifically for this process, conditioning and preparing people for their death. Only spirituality will save this world. It's paramount, definitely important for the Apocalaughs and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful. Okay, so I just gave the first sitting. I want to add some more to this introduction, because very good sitting. And the first thing is that when somebody experiences, well, let's call these things pre-death experiences that you're not going to die but might feel like you're going to die, or you're having moments of, like I said, you wake up panicked or something like this, or you're contemplating your death. It just comes up, right? And so you have a strong feeling about it. And, saying the mission prayer, connecting to the source, but also you can connect to these sittings if you don't have access to your phone or the internet. They exist in the etheric world. And all these sittings do. So the phone and I record the sitting, but you can't record a sitting. And so these sittings exist in the etheric world. You can connect with them without necessarily playing the video. The video is helpful. It keeps time for you, and it acts like a bridge between the spiritual world and the etheric world. But the sitting exists in the etheric world, where there's no time and space. And these specific sittings that are given in this, which just unfolded naturally, which I didn't plan on, but it just was there, because it's, when you first sit down to give a sitting, you have the ideas. The Divine Master is giving a sitting, and the Divine Master knows what to do, and you're helping with that. You're tuning to that and looking at the work and seeing how it's going on. And so these sittings work, I think, in 4 different ways. The first way is activates a cleaning process that begins when you take the sitting and lasts throughout your life, and there'll be little, boosters, these, extra sittings that I do in this playlist, or that pass through me in this playlist, will help facilitate a cleaning process that is now activated to help prepare you for your inevitable death. And so the cleaning will go on through a series of, life experiences and whatever it is, right? Because as you enter the dying process, as you get older, you have experiences. Even if you have some sort of tragic death, which, an untimely death, a death when somebody's young, there can be experiences that lead up to your death, right? Like, I fell out of a tree off a zip line and was knocked unconscious for 12 hours. So that's a, example of something. Or, you have a heart attack or whatever it is, right? And you're in this panic mode, like you're feeling, I might die. Or you have something that feels like a heart attack. I knew an Abhyasi who had panic attacks, and he wrote to Master Charji about it, and Charji said, it's associated with you, drowning in a past life, a fear of drowning. But also it was exacerbated, his physical aspects of the panic attack was exacerbated by this use of coffee. He stopped drinking coffee, and his nervous system was able to get a break. And it was, the panic attacks were not, were maybe manageable. But let's say you have something like that, these experiences that are, you're not going to die, but it feels like you're going to die, or it's, some sort of either physical crisis or emotional crisis that, brings up this stuff. Somebody dies in your family, somebody, dies from your, friend, a childhood friend or something that makes you aware of your own mortality, something like this. And so this would be having the awareness why that's happening, these experiences, that it's preparing you for your own death, inevitable death, and it's cleaning out the unnecessary baggage that's going to make that transition less than smooth. So this cleaning process has been activated. And then it's also cleaning people in the moment, cleaning away whatever's available to be cleaned, any fear of death that can be cleaned at that time. Stuff will come up later that it'll be needed. The cleaning will be needed then, right? Because, the cleaning won't be complete after the sitting. It'll be a process, but whatever can be cleaned now could be cleaned in the sitting. And when you take these sittings, you can take them multiple times. There doesn't have to be any do 3 sittings in 3 days kind of thing, or all on the same day, or a week apart or whatever. It's just when this stuff is coming out, you can take one of the sittings on this playlist, because they're all will have these 4 components in them. Cleaning what's available to clean on the day, enhancing and activating the cleaning process into the future, and these moments, and then these, moments of crisis, these moments of near-death experiences, preparing you for your death kind of things. And then the third thing that it's doing, these sittings are working to clean you at that moment of your death too. So in the future, this connecting with this energy in these sittings, and then, finding a way to remember that, because you're in a panic state, right? Let's say you're having your physical, regrets, and you're feeling a sense of loss, and you're going to miss your loved ones, and whatever you're going through, that's all happening, right? And then being able to connect to this energy, like whether you do it, you're able to play the sitting and on your phone or your computer or something. If you don't have access to that, just connecting with it in the etheric world, that this process has been ongoing. You've taken these sittings and you're connected to these sittings, and that these sittings are working over the span of time. There has no time and space for these sittings, and that when you're at the moment of death, the sitting is there, right? It's there to be with you and clean the whatever needs to be cleaned in that moment, and connect you to this. The fourth thing is connect you, and there's this blissful condition in these sittings. Connect you to, this. It's actually 5 parts. So it's connecting you to the energy, and the transmissions given, that you're feeling that peace at the moment of death, like you're getting an experience of that now while doing the sitting, and then getting that experience whenever you have these, momentary crises, these events preparing you for your death, pre-death experiences, I think I called them. And so it's there, that energy, that feeling that you have. And also, it's activating this pull. Like when you die, there's a pull that your soul wants to return to the source, and getting in touch with that, being able, it exists in everybody. And at a moment of death, there's a release from your earthly bondage and all the stress and the things that you deal with, the illusionary, physical, third dimensional world And so by getting in touch with this energy and this pull, you feel the beauty of it, right? The just release of it, the peace, the inner peace towards it. And also this idea that with that, so this is a part of the fifth stage of the sitting, that, no matter what you miss on this planet, the beautiful things on this planet, the things that you're attached to, mostly your loved ones being the biggest things, the things that you love, as you move to the etheric world, there's no time and space, and there's a purity there. So your connection to your loved ones are there without, the things that go along with physical love, with the love of, between two people and bodies, or between people and bodies. That all things are, the things that make the love more complex and, more of a third dimensional type of thing. They're no longer there. It's just a soul level where there's no sense of loss. There's no sense of missing. There's no sense of separation. That your souls are together, and your etheric support team, your soul group or whatever it is, and all these people that you have connections with and love with and stuff. There's no more the earthly complexities there. So the love is pure. The connection relationships are pure. And it's you in your pristine form, which is the pure essence of your soul, without the all the entanglements and the difficulties that go with the physical body. And so the purity of this love and the things that you miss about planet Earth, and the things that you regret and lament, and all these things you may be having, you just fade away, and that you just feel the pull, the energy pulling you back to the source. And all these things are going on in the sittings, the first one, the second ones, whatever, in the future when I remember to do them. And so being able to connect to these sittings when you're in these moments that where this stuff is happening, the cleaning is going on, things are being cleaned out, you're having maybe some fear of death, you're having whatever comes up for you, you're sick, you're feeling these things, whatever reasons that you have these pre-death experiences that are helping to prepare you for your inevitable death. Of course, when you become in a sort of chronic condition where you're terminally ill, or you're on your way out as you get older and your body's breaking down, you're returning to these sittings and meditating and preparing for this, either through like I said, through this playlist, or whatever you can do. If you don't have access to that, you can something in the future, you could just do it without it. All right, so those are the things. These are all of them. And I'll save these videos in a different place on my computer so they'll have access to them, because they're, I think they're going to be important. Only spirituality will save this world. It's Paul Romano, definitely pointing from the Apocalaughs and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.